to start off in a standing position at the back edge of our mat, and we'll stand tall with our feet about shoulder hip distance apart. So let's start off with just a really easy rock between the toes and the heels. Adding some shoulder rolls. Let's think about nice tall posture, shoulders back. You can add the wrists and forearms if you'd like. So I'm going to settle in, and I want to find that balance between the toes and the heels. You can also kind of rock between the outside and inside of the foot. So we're going to stand tall, shoulders down, and just focus on our breath. So we just got some pretty decent work in those legs and those quads and hamstrings. So let's really give them a little chance to stretch out here. We're going to inhale and exhale. Nice and tall. On your next inhale, the arms are going to sweep up, lifting overhead. And I'm going to lift my heart, reaching the fingers back. And we're going to exhale. We're going to float the chest in the direction of the floor. But I'm going to stop about halfway. I'm going to start with a really easy bend and straighten. So if you have blocks, you can always set your blocks down in front of you here if you need that little bit of assistance. Now I'm going to go ahead and lift my tailbone and slide my hands down to meet the floor. Pedaling through the legs, pop one knee, and straighten the other. I'm going to let the head relax forward and shake the head no if you'd like. Both heels down and press your belly toward your thighs. I'm going to soften my knees, slide my hands up and unfold, scooping the belly, coming up nice and slow. Head and shoulders are last to arrive. Take a big inhale, arms up. And exhale, we're going to hinge. I'm going to lead with my heart, long, flat back, and fingertips to the shins, or go ahead and reach down to the floor. Fingertips or knuckles or palms. So just depending on how you're feeling, how those hamstrings are treating you right now. And pedaling, breathing into that stretch. Let the head relax forward. Now I've got my feet about shoulder hip distance or slightly wider apart. I'm going to bring my hands up to my elbows, so opposite elbow, and take an easy little swing. Let the head relax. And settle in, find center, soften your knees, and release the arms as we scoop the belly, coming up one vertebra at a time. Head and shoulders stack tall. All right, so this time we're going to take the shoulders. We're going to inhale, arms up, and exhale, leading forward with your heart, long straight back. Stop halfway. Float the hands into the small of your back. Now we're going to continue that forward fold. Interlace your fingers and lift, pressing the knuckles toward the ceiling. Feel free to lift and lower. If you need a little twist or move, just kind of finding what you need here. Rest the hands in the small of your back, soften your knees, and float this up one vertebra at a time. I'm releasing the hands as I come to the top. Stack tall, a couple of easy shoulder rolls. All right, so we're going to take a walk. We're going to go into our downward facing dog, so adjust your stance if you need. And imagine that wall right down your back. We're going to inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to peel. Nod the chin forward, scoop the belly, slide the hands down to meet the floor. You can soften your knees to get here. And we're going to take that little walk, reaching out into your downward facing dog. Take a moment. Adjust your stance. Let's try to make sure that we're also spreading the weight through the hands. I want to curl my fingertips in, making sure the whole hand is working. Now I'm going to start with a really easy pedal through the legs, pop one knee, and straighten the other. Feeling that stretch in the heel, into the calf. Now I'm going to settle both heels into the floor and push my chest toward my feet. And I'm going to shift forward into my plank. So finding this nice long plank, and I want to make sure my hips are kind of low. So if your booty is up a little high, try to lower it down, squeezing it into place. If your hips are a little too low, that's pretty tough on your back. So try to find that neutral space. I'm going to press back into my downward facing dog and adjust if you need, pushing into that down dog. Now I'm going to shift between these two poses, these two places, and I want to think about that space in my upper middle back, my thoracic spine. So forward and back. And each time I go back, I want to think about pressing my chest a little closer to my feet. And breathing through your stretch, breathing through your movement. And I'm going to get one more. And hold, nice and strong. And I'm going to shift forward into my plank. Hold it here for just a moment longer. Take some scapular protraction and retraction. If you need to drop to your knees, that is totally fine. And press and press. Give yourself one more. Down and up. I'm going to sink one knee, other knee, and give those hands, wrists, and forearms a little break. Nice and tall, shoulders back. I'm adding some little shoulder rolls here. All right, so I'm just going to lean into my right hand and take this little left side body stretch, and I'm going to take some little shoulder circles up and around. Working on some of that mobility. And let's reverse that. Thinking about that nice little side body stretch in addition to that nice big circle. And let's bring this hand down to meet the floor. Let's get the other side. So I'm taking that that's my right arm. Nice little reach and taking that circle. Thinking about that side body stretch. You can go a little deeper maybe. Keeping that nice big shoulder, nice big circle. And I'm going to reverse and pull it the other direction. Abs are tight. Keeping that strong supporting core. One more, all the way up and around. Bring it down to the floor. Let's slide the hands forward, coming into a little child's pose. All right, so I'm going to come out to my belly, and I'm going to clear a little space around me. We're going to do that little swan with the twist, and then maybe build on from there. All right, so coming out onto your belly. All right, so I'm going to start off kind of small. I'm going to just bring my hands a little further forward, and you can start with your elbows wide. I'm going to take my feet about shoulder hip distance apart, and I want to think about that line down the back of my legs. I want to think about keeping that really strong, really active, maybe pressing the top of your foot into the floor just a bit. So from here, looking towards your mat, shoulders down, we're going to inhale. On the exhale, I'm just going to rotate my elbows in and come up into this really small back bend. So when I think about lengthening through the neck, shoulders down, like you're sliding your shoulder blades into your back pockets. Inhale, and then exhale. I let my elbows rotate out. Let's do that again. We're going to inhale and exhale, pulling those elbows in, coming up. And if you want, lift just a little taller. I'm scooping my belly button away from the floor. So it may still be on the floor, but I want you to think about that really strong connection. And we're going to inhale Exhale, down. Give yourself a little break. All right, so you can stick with that with the elbows just under the shoulders, or slide the hands in, shoulder blades down your back. We're going to come up for a little higher back bend. I'm going to inhale and exhale. I'm going to peel, coming up. So just kind of waking up that back. If you're still down here a little bit, totally fine. I do not have a bendy back, so this one is always a bit of a challenge for me. We're going to lower with control and just take a little moment here. All right, so we're going to take that again, elbows near the body, inhale, and then exhale, shoulders down your back, lifting up, nice and tall, string out of the top of your head, and lower with control. All right, so adding on to that, I'm going to extend my arms, and I'm just going to leave my left arm here. I'm going to extend my left leg and twist it across. So right now I'm just keeping my arms in a letter T, taking a small little twist here. And then bring it back to the floor with control. Let's do the other side. So I'm going to lift and reach. And bring it back with control. And then slide those hands in and swan, nice and tall. And lower, nice and easy. And take those arms out. Let's take the left leg reaching over. Now reaching maybe in the direction of your hand, maybe not, so just get that little twist and bring it back with control. Other side, and up, over, twist, and back to center with control. Hands slide in, and we swan, lifting up and lowering. And this time I'm going to keep my left hand in, right arm is going to reach, and I'm going to push a little deeper. I'm going to use this top arm to press me into this twist. So it's a really nice opening for the front of my shoulder, my right shoulder. I have my hand open, palm is flat on the floor, and I'm going to come back with control. Slide that hand in. Let's go to the other side and lift and twist. I'm using this supporting arm to press me just a little deeper into that twist. And coming back with control. Slide both hands in and we'll bring it up. I'm going to add a little swan in between each of those twists this time. So I'm going to lower, right arm reach, left leg twist, and bring it in. Hand comes in, and we swan, lift, and lower. Left arm reach, right leg twist, and bring it across, bring it in, and swan. And with each of these, you might feel like you're getting a little taller in that swan, and that's great. If not, just focus on that breath, focus on that lift, controlled and smooth. Bring it back. Hand comes in, lift, and lower, and reach. Bring it across. Bring it over, and take your swan. Nice and tall. And lean it down. We're going to press back into a child's pose. So take your time, allow yourself to really sink hips over heels, stretching. When you're ready, go ahead and bring it up nice and tall. Okay, so we're going to go into just our little kneeling hip flexor, hamstring stretch. Have your blocks set up. If you would like to work towards splits, this is that little segment. If not, I would say stick with the little kneeling hamstring and hip flexor stretch. You can just kind of move between those, excuse me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to set my blocks either side of my mat. And if you have a strap, have it handy. Just have it nearby. All right, so I'm going to come to my knees, kneeling hamstring. And if you need a little more padding, you can you can roll your mat up a little more. You can place a little pillow or maybe a rolled up towel under your knee if you need that. All right, so I'm going to step my right foot forward, and I'm going to start by leaning my hip down and forward. So I want to think about this left hip flexor. Now I'm just going to keep my hands just right on top of my thigh, and I'm going to press myself back. We have a tendency when we get here, it's just to lean forward. So we just did all that really nice little back extension work in the swan, so I'm going to keep some of that going. I'm going to think about pressing my shoulders back, hips pressing forward, and from here, I'm going to straighten out that front leg. So I'm going to bring my blocks in, and I'm going to lean it back just a little bit. I want to feel this stretch through the back of the thigh, adding some point and flex. So I'm just leaning forward over my legs. So my back is a little bit rounded, but you can intensify this by straightening the back and leaning that long, flat spine in that direction as well. All right, so I'm going to add a little internal, external rotation, targeting just some different areas of that leg and hip. Now I'm going to shift forward, nice and tall, and you can even turn your blocks up, however you need them, just for assistance if you need that, if you want it. Nice and tall, keeping that extended lengthened spine, and take it back. Now, for those of you who maybe want to work on your splits, we are going to stretch this leg out a little further to the front and lean it down. You can also place a block under, 2 blocks under that front leg, working into the split. If you have no desire to go into splits, that's totally fine. I would say stick with the little shift forward and back. If you're working in this direction, just to see if you can. Sometimes it's fun to see what our body wants to be able to do today. Mine does not want to be able to split today. My hams have been just really super tight lately. Nice and tall. And we're going to ease out of this, shifting back into your hamstring, or excuse me, your child's pose. And if you have your blocks, you can actually use them. Rest your hands and let your head drop forward. All right, so I'll set those off to the side. I'm going to come back into my kneeling stretch, nice and tall, and I'm going to step forward with my left foot, leaning into that stretch. So again, hands on your thigh, pressing back. So think about that swan position, that length, hip forward, shoulders back. And I'm going to ease back, bring my blocks in, and lean your hips back toward your heels. Little point, flex. Keeping that belly button scooped to your spine. And I'm going to take this little internal, external rotation. So again, I'm trying to keep a longer, flatter spine as I take this lean forward. Very easy to just round over. It feels like progress, but it's not as much as we would like. And turn it in, turn it out. And take that little shift forward and back. So we're different on each side, listening to what you need. So if you need a little more hip flexor, come forward and stay forward for just a moment. I feel like I need all the hamstring stretches, all of them. Point and flex. So just shifting in between. Now, if you choose, slide this front leg out to a little more of a split. If you're feeling good, go down to the split. Ooh. I feel like I've lost so much of my hip flexibility through this quarantine. All this time I could work on it, and I just don't. All right, we're gonna bring it in. Shift that foot back. Let's come into our child's pose. And again, if you have the blocks, I'm going to turn my knees open for this one. And I'm just going to lean down into this stretch. If you have blocks, you can rest your hands on those blocks. Go a little deeper, stretching through the shoulder here. And bring it up. I'm going to set those to the side for just a moment. All right, so shoulders back, nice and tall. Let's go ahead and kick this around to our hips. So we're going to start off with our half roll back. So I want to sit up nice and tall, reaching out. We're going to inhale, exhale, half roll back. One leg up, other leg up, and hold. So I'm going to keep this strong navel to spine connection. So I get a little bit of a curve in my back here, so I'm not sitting up tall like a V-sit. So I'm just kind of rounded back. I'm going to inhale. I'm going to exhale, set my feet down, stretch forward, reach, and sit up tall. Let's inhale, exhale, half roll back. So there's that rounded back, one leg up, other leg up. Now you can hold if you need this. Otherwise, reach, and we're going to extend, alternating legs, big reach, stretching out of the hamstring, engaging our quadriceps, and reach, and reach, and reach. Let's get one more each side, guys, and reach, and let's take both feet up together, meet, big reach, and take it down, and stretch forward. Sitting up nice and tall, shoulders back. Okay, so for this next one, the feet are going to stay on the floor. We're going to add a little bit of rotation. So sitting up nice and tall, we're going to inhale. On the exhale, I'm just going to lean. So this one, I do want to keep my heart lifted forward. And I'm going to turn, twist, and look, opening through the shoulders, chest, into the biceps. Back to center. Other side. Turn, twist, and look over that back hand. And back to center, scoop the belly. Turn, twist, and look, and back to center. Let's get the other side. Turn, twist, and look, and bring it in. Take a little stretch, and sit up tall. Okay, so adding on to that, we're going to come back and find that little balance position. So finding that little tabletop. I'm going to take my right hand inside my left knee, and turn, twist, and look, nice and long, and back to center. I'm going to switch sides. Left hand inside of my right knee. Turn, twist, and look, and back to center. Extend those legs. Now you can stay with bent legs if you'd like. Otherwise, right hand inside that left knee. Turn, twist, and look, balance, and center. Switch sides. Last time. Left hand inside your right knee. Turn, twist, and look. Back to center. Both legs up. Cross your ankles. Take a little stretch. All right. So here's kind of a fun little thing. We're going to go back into that little V-sit. And then we're going to do a little, kind of a little 180 twist. 180 or is it 360? I don't know. Here we go. So if you want to watch first, so we're going to lean back and I'm going to extend my legs. I'm going to cross one foot over the other. Now I'm going to set my foot down. So I've got my right foot in front. I'm going to take my left hand around, twisting up and over. There's my down dog. And now I'm just going to come back around. So I guess that would be a 360, right? So now my other leg is in front. Ready? Take a little reach, sit it down. I'm going to take my right hand around, coming up. There's my down dog. Walking that hand across, coming down, twist to sit. So it's a little tricky with the hands, so be careful. Ready? Take that leg up, balance. So the feet are crossed. Feet really never uncross except for that down dog. Twist and come around. There's your downward facing dog. And walk it around, hips to the floor, nice and easy. And reach, set it down, bring that hand around. So getting twisty here, up, there's your down dog. And we'll end on this one. So just coming down and around. Let's get one more, just for grins. Reach, and just set it down. Woo, all right. So that was just kind of a fun little diversion. Take your strap. I didn't add it in on those kneeling exercises, and I'm sure you're probably okay with that. We might grab some more of those here in a minute. I'm going to start with my hands nice and wide. We're going to go into some shoulder mobility. Now I want you to sit however is comfortable for you. If you prefer to sit on your heels, cross-legged, butterfly, this little stagger sit, whatever is good. I just want to be able to sit up nice and tall. I'm going to take my arms starting wide, and we're going to come up and over, up and over. Nice and tall. Think about string out of the top of your head and be able to adjust your hands out or in as you need it. If it's too easy, walk them in. If it's too hard, walk them out a little bit, listening to how those shoulders are doing. Now, as we get into this, after a few reps, you might feel like, okay, my shoulder's easing up a little bit, and that's good. We want that. Up and over, nice and tall. Now, this time, come up and over, up and hold. Now I'm just going to pull down. So all I'm doing is sliding this down my back, so like I'm pulling my elbows into my pocket and then back up. So I'm just going to pull down and up. So I'm just keeping that tension, that outward tension on my strap, and up and down and up and down and up. Let's get one more. And down and up. Go ahead and complete the up and over. Now, if you want to, adjust your hands a little bit, give the shoulders a little break. We're going to do another set. Here we go. Up and over. Woo! No, my hands did not want to go in that far. And up and over. Listening to your body. Scooping that belly. And up and over. Belly drawn in tight, guys. And one more. Let's do that little up and hold. One more little set. Pull down and up and pull down and up and pull down. So I'm keeping that outward tension on my strap and down and up. I'm just going to walk my hands in just a tiny bit and down and up. I'm going to get two more. Down and up. Last time. Down and up. I'm going to reach forward, take a little stretch, let the head relax forward. All right, so let's come over to our back. Go ahead and keep the strap handy. We're gonna come over, lay back, pull the knees into the chest. Quick little stretch here, a little back massage, foot flexion, extension, ankle rotation. So we're gonna give those shoulders a little break here. We're gonna target those legs. So I'm gonna extend my left leg down, and I'm gonna open my right leg. I'm gonna think about this hamstring stretch, lengthening and opening. I'm gonna add a little point and flex. Now I wanna really engage my quads. So think about really straightening out this knee. So if your knee's still kind of bent, think about engaging the quad just a bit more, engaging this nice long stretch. It might take your leg out a little bit, and that's okay. So we want the good, solid, lengthened position. Now I'm going to bend my knee and just pull it to the side and just kind of move it around, giving a little hip mobility here. Trying to keep your left hip down on the floor. Keep that belly button drawn to the spine. Now, go ahead and pull your left hand over the right knee and then twist. So I'm going to stop about halfway. I want to keep my shoulder down. So right shoulder stays down. And as you feel like you can, lean a little deeper into this twist, opening up through that right hand. I'm going to look out across, nice, deep, full twist, starting all the way at my cervical spine, all the way down to my lumbar. You can keep the knee bent, or you can extend that leg and really reach into this outer hip. So if you're kind of somewhere in between, maybe a little bend and straighten. All right, from here, go ahead and bend the knee, pull it back in, and take this leg open to the side. I'm going to extend my leg. Now again, you can bend and straighten here as well. And I want to think about this adductor stretch. So that means I want to keep this hip flat on the floor. I'm not rolling over. All right, so keeping that knee open, hip flat, and then extending that leg as you can. I'm going to create a little brace, just kind of prop my leg on that little brace. And then if you're feeling pretty good, lower it down, hand comes to the inside, and we press it open a little further. Now I'm going to bend the knee and pull it back in. We're going to go into some nerve gliding and some PNF stretching, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitative stretching. So a lot of big words, PNF. And so this is, we're going to do that little push-pull kind of work to help us with some of that flexibility. So I'm going to lift my head and shoulders, and I'm just going to start with a little nerve glide. So I'm going to hold just below the knee, so not right at the knee, so just below the knee, and I want to try to keep the leg in the same place. Now I lifted my head and shoulders, but if you're finding your neck is getting kind of tired and you need a break, feel free to take it down. Otherwise, right here, I'm just working on stretching, lengthening, but I'm trying to keep this knee at the same spot. So if you can't get to this extension without taking the leg out, leave the leg there and bend and straighten and bend and straighten. One more and hold. So I'm going to move my hands up a little higher, and I'm going to interlace my fingers. So here's our PNF. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by pulling the leg toward me. So you might feel a little more give. This is your passive flexibility. So you're actually pulling the leg into this position. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my leg against my hand as I'm pulling that leg toward me. So you're getting that oppositional, you're getting that really strong force away, the strong pull toward. Now I'm going to relax and see if I can take it a little bit deeper. And let's do that again. So I'm going to do that little push-pull. So I'm going to push my leg, pull that leg, keep it going. So lots going on here. You might feel that leg quiver and shake a little bit. Now I'm going to pull that leg into that stretch, and I'm going to let go and see if I can leave it there. Pull, pull, pull. This is your active flexibility. So you are working and pulling that leg into you. Let's do that again. Whew, real quick, I'm going to give my hip a little break. Feel that little hitch coming on. I don't want it to go too far. Here we go. So taking that PNF one more time. So I'm lengthening. And if you're not super flexible, if you're out here, that is totally fine. Okay? So just working at your level, working at your own pace, listening to your body. So I'm pulling that leg. Here we go. Pulling and pushing. I want to feel like I'm opposing. If I were to let go of my hands, my leg would go flying away. So really, really strong. 3, 2, and 1. I'm going to relax my leg. I'm going to pull this leg in just a little deeper. Now I'm going to engage, and I'm going to try to keep that leg right there. Keep it strong. Keep it there. 3, 2, and 1. Bend that knee, other knee in. Take a little break. I have just got a super itchy nose. I'm sorry, it looks like I'm picking my nose. All right, so I'm going to keep my left knee in. I'm going to take my right leg down. So this leg might feel kind of loosey-goosey, a little tired, a little stretched. So I'm going to move my left leg around just a bit more. I'm moving through some of that mobility. And I'm going to take my right hand across my left knee and just twist it over. I want to try to keep my shoulder on the floor. And then as you feel like you can, relax into it a little deeper, getting that nice little twist. So starting all the way at the cervical vertebra, all the way down to the lumbar. And I'm going to look out over this left hand. Breathing into the stretch. Now, if you have the space around you and would like, you can extend this leg, reaching across. Make sure you're breathing. Pull that knee in. We're going to take it out to the side. So I'm starting with a bent knee, and I want to make sure I'm keeping this right hip down. Now you can stay with the bent knee. Just going to open up just a little bit and create a brace under that leg. You can also extend that leg, feeling a little more stretch through this adductor. You can also add the hand inside, pulling that leg open, reaching toward the floor. Keeping that belly in tight, hip down. Now, bend that knee and pull it in. Quick little stretch. My right hip just doesn't want to cooperate today. All right, so we're going to unfold. Taking that little nerve glide, I'm going to take my hands just below the knee, and I'm going to take that extend and bend. Extend and bend. So I want to really think about lengthening out, opening up, engaging my quads. So extend and bend. Belly in tight. I can actually hear my muscles creaking a little bit, telling me, hey, where have you been? All right, so extend and hold, pulling your nose up toward your knee if you want. I'm going to move my hands down. I'm going to interlace my fingers. We're going into that PNF stretching, so I am going to pull as I push, really trying to create that opposition, lengthening through that leg, pull, push, and relax. See if we can pull that leg in just a little deeper. Creating that length, creating that space. And we'll do that again. So I'm going to pull as I push that leg against my hand. So I want to keep this really strong position here, using my arms, using my legs, push. And I'm going to work on keeping this leg right where it is, actively pulling this leg toward me. Take the hand and pull and push one more time. One last little PNF. Push, pull, come on. And hold that leg. Try to keep it right where it was. Don't let it out. And bring that knee in, other knee in. Take a quick little release. All right, guys. So I am going to cross my right ankle over my left knee, and I'm going to do a little internal rotation. So actually, let's start with our feet apart. Let's start with our feet apart, and this way, if the other's a little too intense, you can always come back to this. So what I'm going to do is just kind of this windshield wiper. One knee goes out, other knee comes in, and then to the other side. So I want to try to keep my hip down. I feel it really wanting to lift on one side more than the other. So I'm trying to rotate that knee in, trying to keep this hip down. So I'm rotating in, hip down. All right, so and your feet aren't stuck in any one position. So if you need to kind of move them around a little bit. All right, so where I'm going with this, I'm going to bring one leg on top of the other. And so I've got my right ankle crossed over my left knee. I'm going to twist my left knee in using the weight of my right ankle to pull it down. Let's try to keep the shoulder on the floor. And pull it in. Now, I'm going to bring this leg toward me. So I'm going to bring this little kind of figure four. I'm going to thread through my left leg and pull it in. Now here, there's that little nerve glide again, if you want. Lengthen. Woo. All right, so from here, I'm just gonna cross my legs. So kind of like I'm just sitting like a little lady, and I'm gonna grab the top of my foot. I'm just gonna gently pull my heels down and in. So this one can be a little intense. So if you choose, you can just kind of cross your legs and let them just kind of rest to the floor. Otherwise, I'm grabbing and pulling in. A little deeper stretch. And I'm going to release, and I'm going to cross my left ankle to my right knee. I'm going to rotate and pull my right knee toward the inside. So I want to feel the stretch into my hip, letting the shoulders stay relaxed on the floor. And pull it back to center. All right, so I'm going to bring these legs toward me, and I'm going to thread through. So you can stay here. You can add the little nerve glide if you'd like. All right, so I'm going to just lower my head, and I'm going to cross. So we're a little different on each side. I'm going to grab the tops of my feet and pull, just kind of pulling down and out. So just trying to make a little pretzel out of yourself. Nice and tall, lifting through the top of the head. So if you feel like you're kind of collapsing, think about lengthening, pulling the shoulders down. All right, so extend both legs up. And we're just going to do a real quick little open straddle. So let's see if I have a little bit of space around me. We're going to take those legs out. And if you're here, come here and stay here. Otherwise, keep coming out. Now I'm going to grab behind my calf and pull up and down. So opening, getting that nice little straddle stretch. I'm going to bend my knees and pull those knees together. Just an easy little stretch here for the back. A little back massage. Hands behind your knees. Pull yourself up. And let's take just a couple of easy little shoulder rolls. Let's see. Time. My buzzer went off. So we're right about on time. Let's take a big inhale. Open up through the shoulders and chest. And I'm going to take my right arm across for an easy little stretch back of the shoulder, posterior delt. And I'm going to bring this arm up and back, reaching for the upper middle back. And then open it out. Let's get the other side, posterior delt. So just pulling across gently, not overkill here. So just pulling till you feel that little bit of tension, that little stretch. I'm going to bring this arm up and over into my tricep stretch. Nice and tall. We're going to take it down. Now I'm just going to come over to my knees. I want to get that little grapevine switch again. It's kind of a nice one, and after all that shoulder mobility that we did, we might feel a little better this time. So I'm going to take my right arm up, left arm down. Fingertips might touch. Ooh, mine are touching. Nice, a little better than before. And we're going to switch, windmill around, other side, and up and around, up and around, nice and tall, up and around. And last one right here. Reaching those fingertips toward each other, maybe they touch. And let's take both arms out. I'm going to interlace, push, tuck the tailbone, reach out of those palms. Inhale, arms up, exhale, open. I've got my thumbs back, palms up. Now flip it all the way over and press those thumbs together. Couple of easy little shoulder rolls, guys. Let's rock back onto the ball of your foot. Take a moment, bring this up, have a seat, and balance. So I want you to find that stability through the foot and ankle. Hands can come to your knees. Now I'm going to press to stand. If you need to set your fingers down and unfold to stand, that's okay too. Otherwise, I'm working on that balance, and it's a very strong leg position. So holding on, I'm just going to press to come up to stand. Take a nice big inhale, big cleansing breath. And exhale. Let's get one more. And a big inhale, arms up. And exhale. Thank you guys for joining me for flexibility. Always nice to see your faces. Thank you so much.